Alright, what's going on YouTube? This is the Drone Guy, and today I thought I'd do a traditional unboxing of the DJI Mini 3. I decided to grab this drone after buying and really liking the Mini 2 SE. My flagship drone right now is the Mavic 3. If I had known they'd come out with one with 3 cameras with the Mavic 3 Pro, I would have waited. However, my previous flagship Phantom 4 drone over there, which you can see, decided to break after 6 years. The image sensor died, so this has been kind of my progression of drones, and I'm very excited to add the Mini 3 to that arsenal of drones. So one thing to note right off the bat is this drone, which is different than any drone I've gotten from DJI. It has the true vertical shooting, so I am excited to see how that works with my especially YouTube shorts. I haven't been on Instagram and Facebook as much, but maybe I'll use that excuse to get back into some reels. I also picked up this little Snaption camera. Sorry, my cat is gonna quickly jump into frame. I also bought this little Snaption drone. It's actually really cool, I'm not gonna lie. It was only 30 bucks. So while I was at Best Buy getting this little mini drone, I decided to, the DJI Mini 3 drone, I decided to get this. It is so much fun, and speaking of a cat, it entertains the crap out of them. And this is a great way to practice your flying inside. This is much more stable than I anticipated it being, and it's like foolproof. You can fly this thing into a wall and it'll just kind of either bounce off or land. So really fun. I'm gonna do a little video on that as well. But let me cut out of this so I can get my cat some food. Alright, so let's get back to it. So we've got the Mini 3. I did decide to try as well, not only this drone because of the vertical shooting, but because it was kind of a bundled deal for $600 to get the remote with the built-in screen. So I thought, why not? Let's try it out. I'm really curious to see how that goes. Plus, it frees up my phone to basically do some recording as well for YouTube and different stuff. So, oh, come on. It's gonna give me a hard time. There we go. One thing I think I was a little disappointed with my Mini 2 SE is it never came with a bag or anything, but you know, it is what it is. I'd rather have more out of the drone. Okay, so here we go. Then, you know, and save a little money, then get a bag. I have plenty of bags, but all right, let's take a look at this thing. You gotta love the packaging. I do think they've taken some notes from like the Apples of the world. All right, wow. Definitely futuristic. So the first thing you'll notice right away, or at least I notice, is its gimbal guard. It's kind of cool to have the Mini 2 SE right next to it, but let's pull this next to it for comparison. I know a lot of people are going to be getting one of these drones, or looking to buy one of these drones for the holiday. Let me just carefully close the knife, peeps. All right, so very cool. I mean, okay, so these fold out top. I believe it's the same. Okay, so these kind of pull out. Very cool. So you'll notice very similar design as the Mini 2 SE, almost identical. Sorry, of course my cat is like still interested in what we're doing. So much bigger dome on the gimbal. You can just tell even through that. We're gonna take that off, but it's already more of a complex gimbal design. And once again, let me just take a quick break, y'all. All right, so once again, very similar to the Mini 2 SE. You can see, let's take this gimbal off. Okay, so much more interesting situation. All right, boom. All right, so one thing that is kind of tricky is getting this little foam piece out of the way here. Don't be shy though. There we go, okay. That is something you'll have to take off, and we'll take those little things off as well. But as you can see, a little bit more of a complicated gimbal setup because of the vertical shooting, I would assume. All right, so I made a few adjustments. I think this should be good for now, but quickly wanted to touch base on the gimbal. are because that is probably the biggest difference between the two drones that I'm going to look at mostly, the Mini 3 here and my Mini 2SC, which I know a lot of people are torn between, and I can see why. So first of all, let's talk about this gimbal. So this is, as you can see, a little bit more complicated design than and you can see it's because it needs to operate on 2 different axles, right? So this can shoot vertically and horizontally, and this can shoot only horizontally. So this extra gimbal down here kind of allows it to rotate and switch as it needs to. And this most likely, there we go. See, that's how you're going to shoot true vertical. So pretty cool. I'm hoping this more advanced gimbal design will make the overall gimbal of this drone a little bit more reliable than the Mini 2SC. I think people who have watched my channel know that that's probably been my only downside to the Mini 2SC. Otherwise, I love the drone. Similarly to the Mini 2SC, you've got these 2 sensors on the bottom here for takeoff and landing, obstacle avoidance. These are just faux sensors. Those don't do anything. Battery here in the back. Just take that off. Officially charge to activate the intelligent flight battery before using for the first time. Definitely recommend that. So I'll step away and charge it really quick, but let me just take the battery out. So this is where you're going to put that micro USB. This is going to be where you charge the battery. It's a little bit bigger. Let's compare it to the So you've got the Mini 2 battery here, you got the Mini 3 battery here. So similar size, but definitely a little bigger here. So, and generally bigger. Let's move this away a little bit. That's better. And genuinely a little bit bigger of a drone itself. So doesn't look, it's a little thicker. If there's any difference, it's a little thicker. About the same. Oh, and I guess the other thing is, notice the arms. I'm not sure why this is, but front and back legs are about the same size on the Mini 2, but definitely longer front legs. And I think the reason they did that is because no matter which way you choose to start folding this drone up, let's actually go this way. I think this is a little easier. Whether you fold this one up first or this one, it doesn't matter because you can now take this one out. Basically, here, let me show you the difference. On the Mini 2SE, you'd have to you can't see. You have to do this one first. So a little bit different. I kind of like that because, hey, who likes to force their technology by accident to do it? I mean, over time that, you know, I'm sure gets old as I forget to do the Mini 2. That's not something I got used to. I just always, you know, I dealt with it. But, you know, that's not a bad feature because you can just quickly, you know, I feel like I already remember which ones. There we go, see? I feel like it's a little bit more intuitive. So I think what we'll do next, I don't know if they're longer yet, a little bit longer propellers too. I think that's probably the other difference here. Let's let it focus. So the only other difference I can think of potentially with this drone is, let's think here. That's pretty much it besides the longer propellers, longer front legs, bigger battery, obviously the ability to shoot 4K and true vertical. So those are the biggest differences, you guys. Those are the biggest upgrades. Now, the Mini 4 and the Mini 3 Pro, the Mavic series drones, those are going to be the ones that have the true sensors on top, back, bottom, the omni-obstacle, tri-omni-obstacle, whatever they want to call them. So I chose to do the Mini 2 SE and the Mini 3. So those drones do have some awesome features, so we're gonna jump into that next, but let's get it charged. I'm excited to see it turned on, and I'm gonna unload the controller as well and get that charged. Drone, let's quickly take a look at this sweet piece of equipment. What else is in the bottom here? Oh, to keep moisture out. Let's see what cables they include, huh? What are they gonna give us? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, DJI, handy dandy Allen wrench, not Allen wrench, the screwdriver, the propellers, extra propellers. Oh yeah, true, because this, I guess they don't need much cable. This is for charging. Don't need a cable, right? That's different. So one good thing about, one reason I guess I've always wanted one of these is because I do live in an area that does experience winter. I mean, that is pretty clean. I'm not gonna lie, you guys. That is pretty sweet. Let's look at the back. I mean, everyone always asks me what it's like to fly drones for a living, and I'm like, it's basically like turning into a real life video game, and I think this kind of solidifies it because, I mean, this is so cool. I'm not gonna lie, this is, okay, a little bit smaller of a joystick window, I feel like. That could get interesting to use. So let's pop those in really quick. A little bit more of an upgrade to the, a little bit, it's hard to see there, but it's a little bit smaller of a head than grab one of the other controllers quick. It's hard to see, but the area you screw on doesn't look it, but it's small enough for me to notice. I already have a hard enough time sometimes these small things, but like I said, it's gonna be dead. So we'll probably want to charge this thing up. I'm gonna go do that, but really excited to see how this screen works and get it activated, get it connected to the drone. I'll show you guys how to do that out of the package, so let's do that now. Alright, so it's giving us this catchy entrance. I mean, you can just see though, the clarity on the screen is really impressive. That's exciting, so let's see. Alright, so let's see what this is. You can skip this, it says, but I'd rather not. Let's try. Swipe horizontally from the edge of your screen to return to the previous screen. Okay. Alright, so this is going to go through the gimbal and the adjustments on this controller. So that's kind of cool. So if you are someone who needs to go through this, I highly suggest taking the time to get to know the controller really well. I'll be following up with this specifically out in the field for volume 2 of this. It's not the best day weather-wise for a flight, so I won't be taking the Mini 3 out yet, but I'm gonna, the next video is gonna be on my first flight with it and kind of going through the controller as well, because this is a new drone and a new controller to take a look at. So stay tuned if you are looking for more information on this. If you happen to find any of this information in this video useful, please make sure to subscribe and like the video, comment below on where you are flying from. Until next time, this is the Drone Guy. Oh, and make sure to stay tuned for Volume 2 where I take the Mini 3 out for a test run.